All right, y'all.
Always Nicole in there. Hey, there she is.
Is it recording already?
Yep. I'll stop it for now.
All right, everybody, we got a few more people joining, so we'll start here in just a few seconds.
Hello. Okay. I don't know how to run these things, so I got to figure out how to do it.
It's looking like this is close to everybody. I mean, several more, but I'll keep letting them in. So, yeah.
Okay, well, I will start then. I am Dr. Amy Wood, and I am Assistant Provost and Dean of the Graduate School. And it is absolutely my privilege to welcome you to Lenoir-Rhyne University and to the Graduate School, regardless of where you are located, or if you're attending one of our 3 campus locations or fully online. We couldn't be more excited to welcome you and to welcome you into the Bear family. Some of you are returning. We have someone who is having some audio problems, but we'll hope we'll get some of those resolved. Can everyone else hear me okay? Yes, okay, great. Wanted to make sure it's okay on my end. You know, one of the most exciting parts of welcoming you to this particular summer start is that we get to welcome you into our class of 21-22, moving past that class of 2020 year. For many of us has been incredibly challenging, and for many of you has been incredibly challenging. And it just feels not only like a new year, it feels like we are really, truly moving forward into a new place, a new reality, maybe post-COVID scare, or at least the ability to manage COVID better. And so it is exciting to think about beginning this academic year anew. I think last year I was looking at my notes and I was talking about how I'd spent a lot of time watching Netflix. And if you'll think back to the beginning of COVID and what was the one about the tiger that everybody watched? Anybody remember the name of that one?
Carol Baskin.
That's it. What was that one about? That was one of the very first COVID series things that everybody was watching on Netflix. And, you know, we talked about that and all the different kinds of COVID funnies that will probably be living to tell. Tiger King, thank you, Chastity. That's right. What a crazy show that was. But anyway, I was pretty convinced last summer that my mind had absolutely turned to mush. And so I applaud all of you for taking this next step forward in your academic endeavor and your personal life. We're very aware that it is a big commitment on your part. It's a big investment in yourself, financial investment, time investment. And I can tell you in my personal journey in my life, my education has been one of my very best investments. I think I told this story before, so those of you maybe who've heard it, bear with me, but I went to a workshop maybe a year or so ago, and they asked if your house was burning down, what's something that you would grab, assuming that all your animals and family and all those kinds of people were out and safe. What would you grab on your way out? And it didn't take but a second. I said I would grab my diplomas, and maybe not, because I guess those things could be replaced, my actual diplomas, I suppose. But I think what it made me realize is that my education has been of utmost importance in my life. I've made a career out of education. I believe in it so much that it really shapes and changes us. And it also, it's, I think it's Maya Angelou who said, do the best you can until you know better. I'm misquoting her, and I apologize for that. I'm paraphrasing. Do the best you can until you know better. But when you know better, do better. And the exciting part about beginning a graduate journey is that you will know better. And that's part of education. We know more, we learn more, we open our universe up to more, our brains up to more, our knowledge up to more, our experiences up, are greater, our worldview is richer. And when we know more, then we have to do better, and do better in all of our endeavors. And it's a huge responsibility to do better. But that's all part of the privilege of education. So I absolutely welcome you. I challenge you, and I encourage you to embrace every bit of what's coming your way the next year, 2 years, 5 years, 7 years, depending on your program and your particular track, but and how you do your courses. But I encourage you to embrace all of it. It won't be easy. I promise you that. It shouldn't be easy. There'll be moments when you'll want to stop. Your knees will shake or your eyes will water. But I encourage you to persevere, keep going, keep it up. Reach out to those around you who can help you, who can encourage you, support you. You're going to make great, incredible friends on this journey. You're going to have faculty who become your mentors, who become your companions in research, your colleagues. And so that's a difference between undergrad and grad is really how your faculty embrace you as an academic colleague. So I encourage you to use your tools and use your people. Over the next several hours, you're going to be meeting a lot of really important people. And you're going to hear a lot. It's going to be pretty overwhelming, in terms of getting all this information. This information is stored. There are places you can come back and find it. You can always come back to the graduate school team and those that have worked with you throughout admissions, and to Marianne Gosnell, who you'll meet in a little bit, who will help you through as a current student process. But use these people, take advantage of all the things that are on our various campuses, or that we have available to you online. You can probably do the just bare minimum, but don't. You're investing of yourself, you're investing your time, you're investing your money. Embrace it and get all of your investments worth. And I wish you the best of luck throughout your studies. Please, my main office typically is in the Cloninger House. We're in the process of being renovated, so we're not there at the moment, but we will be back there very soon on the Hickory campus. But I try as frequently as possible to get to our campuses in both Asheville and Columbia, and look forward to, now that we're getting on the backside of COVID, perhaps, that we'll be able to have lots more opportunities to have coffee or maybe catch a beer, glass of wine, or something like that along the way. So best luck to you. And I'm going to turn it over to Emily, who I think will guide our next speaker.
Yes, thank you so much, Dr. Wood. Next up, we're going to just jump right into the speakers. So I want to welcome next Aisha Adams. She's our Director of Multicultural Affairs. Welcome, Aisha.
Hi, everybody. I am so excited to be here. I see my friend Katie Sachs on the call. She said she was going to graduate school, but she did not put she was going to be a bear. So I'm super excited to see that. I'm new here, so I'm just as new as you are and super excited to be here with you. So I represent or wear two roles in the LR family. The first role is I am serving as the multicultural director for the Hickory campus. For all three campuses, but I sit at the Hickory campus. The purpose of this office is to highlight, embrace, and create platform for diversity, equity, and inclusion. One of the misconceptions about diversity, equity, and inclusion is that it is just for minority or marginalized communities. But the truth is, we all deserve to feel included, a sense of belonging. We all deserve to feel as though we belong, and we all deserve equity in the space that we're in. Y'all see my iron back there? It's really annoying me. But I think like the reality of this office is that Lenoir-Rhyne has made a concerted effort to, and it's in process, of course, but to really make sure that people feel a sense of belonging, a sense of being okay. So whatever campus you're on, if you're having a problem or you feel like you can't just get through, that's my job. That's what I'm here for. Please feel free to reach out to me. I'm going to drop both my email address and my cell number so that you can reach out to me. Don't be alarmed when Denise answers the phone and says, I'll get her for you. But I just want you to know in this role, I'm here to create safe spaces and brave spaces for you and with you. And I want to go through this journey with you as you matriculate on and through the master's program. I'm so excited for you. The other role that I wear, which is super exciting, is I'm the founder of the Lenoir-Rhyne Equity and Diversity Institute. And at the Lenoir-Rhyne Equity and Diversity Institute, what we're doing is we're training professional people like yourselves to really add that diversity, equity, and inclusion leadership lens to your degree. Right? So we know as you go into schools, I saw someone said they were going to be in teaching. I saw someone said they were going to be in counseling. Somebody's going to be in this thing or that thing. Being able to lead consciously and have strategies for diversity, equity, and inclusion. One of the main things that we're doing is teaching employers that diversity, equity, and inclusion is not a moral thing, but it is a skilled skill set that requires pay and that requires distinction. And so in that work, I'm super proud to partner with LR. I have a strong sense of belonging at LR, even though it's been such a short time that I've been affiliated with Lenoir-Rhyne. I'm not going to say that it's perfect, but I am going to tell you we are a strong community and that we are moving forward. We're moving in the right direction and we're working together. And that means you too. So welcome to Lenoir-Rhyne University. And if you need anything, I'm always here to be a partner and a co-conspirator in your educational journey. So let's work together.
Thank you so much, Aisha, for joining us today. Thank you so much. Next up, we have Dr. Frank Quinn. He is our Dean of University Library Services.
Thanks, Emily. Do I have screen sharing capability?
Yes, sir. You should be able to.
I'm not half the speaker of any of these previous two speakers, so I'm going to vanish and let you watch my screen here for a little bit. Oh, thanks, Aisha. I'm just gonna, if I can, let's see, share screen with you. Hopefully you can see just the main LR page. Awesome. Lots of ways of getting to the library from here. I should say, by way of introduction, there are library services on all three campus locations. There are 7 of us here in Hickory, 2 in Columbia, and 1 in Asheville. We'll talk more about them as we go. But I did want to just give you a basic introduction to some of the resources and services available to you through the library. Here under academics, click library, And that takes you to this splash page where you can link to any of the locations. This is the, I'm just gonna, for the purposes of today's demonstration, since I've only got 10 minutes, and I could easily spend 6 hours. Oh, I got a message in the chat. I can take all 6 hours. Awesome, 6 hours. Here we go. Just kidding. I think we lost Vince. All right, kidding. But I do just have a few minutes. So there's a few things I wanted to point out to you using the Hickory page as an example. All of the library web pages have this horizontal menuing at the top. You'll notice there's one for LR libraries. So on any of the library pages, if you want to go to a different one, you can just come up here and go straight there. That's important to know. And honestly, especially if you're in Columbia, but Asheville too, you should probably use that library's page as a landing spot to begin your work. That said, there are lots of resources that are common to all campus locations. So from this resources item here, you can go straight to our list of databases. We have 176 in alphabetical order. Quite a few specialized resources. We are really, really fortunate to have access to 3 and maybe 4 different consortial organizations that we can use to get discounts on databases. So for a school of our size, we have an amazingly rich collection of content. You can also explore these. If you don't know of a title of one, alphabetically, you can go by subject. So if you're interested in counseling, you can click on that and get a list of the things that are probably most important to counseling students, including best bets, psych articles. Try to make that a little larger. You know, it's hard to see. You'll also find subject guides over here. These are guides put together by librarian experts. I'll talk more about them in a moment. This one is by Don Berend. And if you click finding articles, you get a little more information, a little more context about those databases. Handy list of internet resources that are of special interest to people in that discipline. And again, I got there just by going to resources and databases. There's another way to get there. Resources, research guides. We've created for every academic discipline and a few other subjects, research guides for your use. So for example, I'm going to scroll down here to say nursing. Here's one put together by our health sciences librarian, Patrice Hall. And again, if you click finding articles, you'll get a list of her picks for the best resources to use for articles. At LR finding books. We have terrific access to the R2 digital library and so forth. So, and again, I got there from resources, research guides. If we go to the About tab, you can get a list of those 10 library staff. We put Hickory at the top, so here are the 7 of us. But if you scroll down, you'll see Craig Barley in Asheville, and Kellie Barbado and Lisa Antley Hearn in Columbia. And those are probably, if you're in Columbia or Asheville, I would strongly encourage you to reach out to Kellie or Craig first if you have questions. That said, you can access any of us at any time. So for example, I'm going to go back to this About option and click on Librarian Subject Liaisons. 4 of us on the Hickory campus have assumed special liaison responsibilities. I mentioned Don Berend a minute ago with the counseling. She actually has a master's degree in counseling and has worked as a professional counselor and actually still does a little bit counseling work on the side. She's also got an MBA degree, so she's our business expert as well. Patrice Hall is a health sciences librarian for many years and is an extremely valuable person for you to know if you're working in occupational therapy or nursing or any of the health sciences. Burl McHouston is probably one of the 4 or 5 smartest people on campus. So if you're lucky enough to have him as one of your subject areas, congratulations. And I get the others. You're bad luck, but I do my best. Anyway, these links, by the way, are to the subject guide. So if you click on any of them, you'll go straight to that subject guide. Okay. Let me go back to here. I'm going to back out a little bit, back into Hickory. Okay. Some other important things to note. Most of I think this horizontal tab menuing is pretty good. There are a few things that are actually better on this left-hand menuing. We love menus. We got them all over the page. This one over here, for example, under using library services, you'll find very specific service links to, for example, interlibrary loan. So if you have need to get physical materials that we don't have access to in the libraries where you are, click here and that'll lead you through a process. We actually use OCLC's TAPASA application, which is frankly state-of-the-art interlibrary loan application. So it works really well, and we can generally get things in a week to 7 days-ish. So that's books or articles or practically anything. So specific help information is available here. Also want to point out this Chat Now widget, and I think I may lose you here, unfortunately, because it brings up a pop-up window. I wonder if I can, well, I won't bother that. You have to trust me, there's a pop-up window on my screen. It's live chat and it's 24/7. So if you have a question, feel free to click on that and ask it and you'll get an answer in real time. Most hours, certainly between 9 and 9 p.m. when we're open that late, you'll get an answer from one of the LR library staff. After hours, we have a third-party vendor who is actually quite good at using this, and you'll get a very good answer from them. So you can use this at 3:30 in the morning and ask whatever's on your mind, like, you know, where's the front door, or how do I cite this, or whatever you want to know. Chat Now, so that's important. The other thing I wanted to mention here, I showed you how to get access to these 170 some databases. We've also got this wonderful summon search down here in the center of the page. You can also search just the library catalog or just our collection of e-journals. By the way, the Columbia Lineberger Library has a separate catalog, so you definitely, that's another good reason to go to their library page if you're in Columbia. And that's a terrific catalog. It's shared with the cluster libraries in Pennsylvania. So Summon, however, and that's available to students at all campuses, searches 140 some of those 170 odd databases with a single search. Let's see, do a quick example here. Put in microloans. It also searches collections of high quality open access content like the Directory of Open Access Journals, 1.3 million volumes in the HathiTrust collection, all full text, pre-copyright. It's extraordinary. So this is 22,000, and again, I apologize, I'm going to try to make that a little bit larger. 22,000 results searching for just microloans. If you only want to see, it's almost all full text, which is really cool. If you just want to see peer-reviewed content, just click that limit option. Cuts it down a lot, 1,200 and some. If you say, I only want to see what's happened in the last 12 months or the last, whatever, 20 years, you can use the date limit option. And there are subject limit options. So if you're interested in microfinance, let's see, I'm going to look through the list of subjects here. We'll see environmental sciences and click apply. And it just adds that concept to our microloans. And we have 60 scholarly articles published in the last 30 years, probably too far back, with this additional context of the environmental sciences. So here's one on investing in climate change adaptation. Oh, by the way, there's a nice little definition of microfinance on the right-hand side. you don't always get, but sometimes you do. Related topics, if that's applicable. Microfinance might have been a better way to search this. You'll notice all the open access content, and almost all of this, by the way, is peer reviewed. So it's high quality stuff. And as I say, most of it's full text online. So you click a full text link and it gives you the actual article. How cool is that? I'm talking rhetorically. The answer is it's very cool. I'm just saying. I pointed out, can you still see me? Am I still here? Okay. I pointed out those subject liaisons because I want you to feel free and comfortable to reach out to any of us at any time. You know, if you're at Columbia or Asheville, you should probably reach out to those people first. But you can reach out to folks here in Hickory if you've got you know, some kind of need in a particular subject area and you want some expertise. So we'll be happy to help you with that if we can. Goodness, I feel like I've gone way over my time. Have I? No, I'm not. I've got plenty of time.
Yeah, you got a few more minutes.
Okay. Okay. We have enough time for questions. If anybody has any, I would be very happy to take them. I feel like I've zipped through this and skipped a lot of stuff. Oh, we have books also. Here in Hickory, we have 120,000 volumes in the library building.
I have a question. It might sound like a dumb question, but I'm going to ask it anyways. So when you go directly to this page as graduate students, do we have to have a login, or do we just use like to be able to access the database, or is it just go to the website and you have access?
No, great question. For the individual databases, first time you use them during a session, you will need to log in, and it takes you to an LR login page. In fact, I can try to replicate that. Let me see. I'm going to share my screen again if I can.
And so our login would just be like our user, like if we're logging into our email.
Yeah, I shouldn't try to do that, but that's exactly right. It's the same login that you probably use for Canvas. So it probably is your email. Yeah, you'll see an LR logo in the middle of the page. Just enter that information. It should take you right in.
Okay.
And that's a change we've made in the last couple of years, which this won't mean anything to you unless you were an undergrad here, but it used to be way harder to do this, which is stupid. By the way, that summon search, you can search that without actually logging in. When you go to connect to the full text article, at that point, it will ask you to log in. But yeah, good question.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Anything else? Wow. All right. Well, you look amazing. This is an amazing group of graduate students here. I wish I could be one of you, but I'm done with it. Yeah. Amy said she would take her diplomas from her home. Mine are here behind me, so I'd be lost if the wire burned. And well, never mind. Okay. I'm gonna leave with that. I will I will turn it over to the next person. So Emily or Jen or whoever's in charge, it's all yours. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Dr. Quinn. We appreciate it. Next up is Katie Wohlman, our Director of Career and Professional Development. Welcome, Katie.
Hello, everyone. Can you see and hear me okay? All right, super. Well, it is a pleasure to join the group this afternoon, and I see some familiar faces, so that's always good to see some of our MAT students rolling right through from undergrad to grad school. So for those of you who are new to Lenoir-Rhyne, I hope you've already been able to tell that we have got a group of dedicated and passionate staff and faculty here to help you achieve all those goals that you set for yourself when you start a graduate program. And the Career Center is no different. So again, my name is Katie Wohlman, and I am your career counselor. So we do have an office on the Hickory campus, and we are highly accessible via Zoom. You know, it's great. Everybody knows how to use Zoom now. And so we are very accessible through that medium as well for our Asheville and Columbia students. And wherever you are located, we can meet you there. And in fact, I always like to make sure to mention that career services are available to you not only as a student, but also for the rest of your lifetime as an alum. So it's really funny. I'm thinking of that recently because we literally can meet you anywhere in the world that you are. I've been making some appointments with alums recently, and we're converting time. Okay, you're in this time zone. I'm in this time zone. Okay, let me get that right. We'll set the appointment. So as long as we can get that right, we're good. We've got a lot of practice with that now. So our services are absolutely accessible to you. Happy to meet with you before you even start classes if that's something you're interested in. And the Career Center can help you with everything that's related to your career and or your professional development. So I like to make sure to mention to graduate students that it's still okay to continue to discern what you might want to do for your career or what you might want to specialize in when you start graduate school. When I started my graduate program, I knew that I wanted to work with college students, but I was still discerning exactly what that might look like, exactly what role that might entail. And so that's definitely something that the Career Center can help you with. We do not have a crystal ball to be able to predict your future. Nobody has that. And our futures are unpredictable, as some of you may be aware already. But we can go through some assessments with you that if you were to access these on your own, they would be very costly. But through our office, they're free. So we can give you personality assessments so you can uncover and understand your strengths, which is so important when you're thinking about careers that are a good fit for you or roles within a certain discipline that might be a better fit for you. Also, it's a great way to enter graduate school. How can I capitalize on my strengths? What are those? And one of the most fun things about graduate school, in my opinion, is being able to work with your professors, customize your assignments a lot of times so you can maybe focus on something you're more interested in and maybe tweak the assignment a little bit. I'm an adjunct professor in the counseling program, and I highly encourage my students to do that. You know, if you want to take this project in a different direction, please do that. And so, you know, doing an assessment can help you understand maybe what you might want to capitalize on or focus on even within your classes. So that's definitely something we can support you with. We also help you with maybe some of the more obvious things. Oh, do I have a question? Please feel free to ask questions at any time or put them in the chat. So the other kind of maybe more obvious things that the Career Center can help our students and alumni with, we can help you update your resume. We can help you with your job search. So if you are interested in a part-time or full-time job when you're entering graduate school, be really careful about your time management, first of all. We can help you kind of think about that as well, but we can help you with your job search. We use a career management system called Handshake. Many schools use this, so if you're coming to us from a different school, your former school might have used Handshake. So we use that system. It's very user-friendly. You can look for jobs of all kinds, and y'all, I am getting, there's the provost. Hi, I'm on a call. We're a very close-knit group here, so folks stop by, and it's a good thing. Very family-oriented. So we can help you connect with those types of opportunities. Y'all, my phone is ringing off the hook for people who want to hire you. So I just want you to know that it's even in this economy that might be a little challenging for some people, I cannot respond fast enough to the employers that are trying to recruit you. So that's really good news. Part-time, full-time, summer opportunities. I got a call today from a company who wants to have a summer intern at a really good pay rate. Paid internships are sometimes hard to find. So the opportunities are out there, and we can help you connect with those. Not only do we help you connect with online postings like Handshake, we help you connect with networking connections, and that's so important. So you may already know that most people find their opportunities through networking in this country. And so we really want to help our students and alumni do that. So we don't just want to point you toward a website. Anybody can do that. But we want to give you contacts in the fields that you're interested in. This is helpful for job searching. It's also helpful for discernment. One of my favorite suggestions to give folks is to do informational interviews with people who have jobs that you're interested in. We've got a great network of alumni and recruiter contacts at our fingertips that we can share with our students and alums to widen your network, investigate what people's jobs look like. And so that's a really helpful resource that we can offer. And again, it doesn't matter where you might want to go, we're likely to have contacts in those areas. And then we can help you. We're going to have some graduate assistantships available on campus, and so we can help you with that application process. You are guessing it's going to be the same this year. You're usually required to submit a cover letter and a resume. And those documents are sometimes harder to write. When we sit down to write them, we think, oh, I'm going to knock out this cover letter. Oh, I'm going to update my resume. I was just helping an alum recently. And they're saying, oh, I'll send you my updated resume this afternoon. And I didn't get it. The next day, like, this is harder than I thought it was going to be. So it can be a challenge. So again, we're here to help with that. Crafting your marketing materials to help you, again, reach those goals that you've set for yourself, or investigate if you're not sure what kinds of opportunities are out there for you as a graduate student. And then the other thing that we can help you with that I always like to mention is maybe more towards the end of your graduate program, we can help you with things like salary negotiation. So once you earn another degree, if you are already at a company, that's a great time to ask for a salary raise. And that's not always the easiest thing to do. And for my folks who are going to be entering into a career after your master's degree, it's really good knowledge to have. How do I research what salaries are appropriate for this position in this geographical area? We've got some great resources. I just added a new resource this semester, actually, that I found from talking with an alum, actually. And so those are getting updated all the time. We do a lot of professional development in the office, so we're staying on top of trends and resources so that we can pass that along to you. Recently, we've been doing, of course, this past year, everybody's been online, and we've released a number of webinars for our students and alumni with helpful tips. And so we have those accessible to anyone at any time. You've got my contact information in your orientation page on Canvas, but I'll put it in the chat as well. And again, you know, we're open all throughout the summer. We can be a resource even before you started classes. I met with a new MBA student just last week before he started classes. He just wanted to have a conversation about how to make the most of the Career Center. I was like, oh my gosh, I love you already. Yes, let's talk about that. So even if you just wanted to have a conversation like that, you know, you don't have a certain thing you need help with, but you just want to know more about what we do, how we can support you, I welcome those kinds of conversations. And I would encourage you as a graduate student to think about that. You're investing in this education, and there is a lot available to you outside of the classroom. Inside of the classroom, it's going to be awesome. You're going to get so much information and networking opportunities within the classroom with your fellow students and your professors. But there are a lot more support services and resources available to you. As Dr. Quinn was mentioning, our library is fabulous, and I love their sense of humor over there. I love to go over there and get popular books all the time. I think I've got about 4 checked out right now. But anyway, this is an investment you're making in yourself. And so I encourage you to make the most of that investment and really use all the resources that you have at your fingertips. And I will just encourage you to be proactive about that. We do visit a number of the graduate school classes. So we may visit your class at some point, or you may have an assignment to get a resume reviewed by us or to do a mock interview with us. Some of you have had that experience recently. I'm looking, they did a great job. But those are great opportunities for you to, again, kind of get some support with your marketing materials. Make sure that they're representing you in the best way possible. Practice interviewing skills. That's not easy for anyone, and we all can improve in those areas. And so that's what we're here for. Even if we're not embedded in your classes, we just encourage you to reach out and take advantage of all that we have to offer. Because most of us go to graduate school to elevate, accelerate, enhance our career in some sort of way. And that's what we're all about in the Career and Professional Development Center. So we definitely want to encourage everybody to take advantage of that. And again, there's no rush to do that. We'd encourage you to reach out as soon as possible, but you don't have to try to get it in at a certain point either, because we're available to you for the rest of your lifetime free of charge. And so I think that's a huge benefit that we have to offer. I myself needed career assistance after graduation, and so I feel like that's really important. We are very likely to have career transitions and challenges after we graduate or after we earn a certain degree, and so we're going to be there for you. Is there anything else that I've forgotten to share?
think you're good. You're always very thorough. Thank you.
We all have a lot to say, so we're trying to keep it concise. Chandler. Yay, thanks Chandler. I did not pay him to say that, but Chandler's great too.
All right,
Awesome.
okay,
Well,
thank
we're
you.
glad to have you. Yeah, we're glad to have you as part of the Bear family. And just reach out if you need anything. As always, go Bears.
All right. Thanks for joining us, Katie.
Take care.
All right, next up is Kellie Medley. Kellie is one of our counselors here on the Hickory campus over in the Cornerstone Student Health and Wellness Center. So welcome, Kellie.
Hello. Hi, everybody. I hope you can hear me. I'm not going to take up too much of your time. I am sitting in on behalf of my supervisor, Jenny Smith, who is the director of counseling. So I'm just going to talk about some of our services we offer in the Student Support and Wellness Center. First of all, we have our health services. We have a PA who is in the building and sees students free of charge. Can write prescriptions, things of that nature. So if you're on campus in the Hickory area, or if you need a telehealth visit, you can go online to your portal and access the student health center that way, make an appointment. You can be seen online and then get health services that way. So that is a huge benefit to the health services we have at Lenoir-Rhyne. Also, we have disability services, and you can get accommodations with the Disability Services Center through having documentation. So ADHD, generalized anxiety, any sort of learning disabilities, any sort of physical disabilities, anything like that that you feel requires some sort of accommodation, whether you're on the Asheville campus, Columbia, or Hickory. Sherry Proctor is the person that you would need to email to get that process started. And then of course we have counseling services. We have 4 full-time counselors here. I had to count to make sure. We have 4 full-time counselors and I think 3 interns who are available for counseling for all students. That's Hickory, Asheville, and Columbia. And then we also have counseling services that are outsourced for the Columbia campus and the Asheville campus. All of these services are free to you, including counseling, and they're available to you as long as you're a student, free of charge and as much as you need it. So don't hesitate to reach out to us if you have any questions. If you need to start seeing a counselor, the best way to do that is to email Jenny Smith and she will get you connected with a counselor that way. There's no portal option to start counseling. You just simply have to email Jenny, let her know you're interested in counseling, and get that started that way. And then also for Sherry Proctor, Emily, if you could put Sherry's email there as well for disability services. That way you guys have access to that. That's all for the services we offer, but the counselor in us, in me, in this center wants to give you guys resources that will help you as you navigate the graduate world. It's a lot different than undergraduate, and I don't think a lot of people really understand that. And so some tips that I want to leave with you today is don't be afraid to ask for help. Don't be afraid to not be okay with the adjustment from going from undergrad to grad or having years off and then coming back. Being a full-time parent, full-time student, full-time worker, that can be very hectic and that can be very stressful. And so reaching out to our services just for support. A lot of people think that if you're in counseling, there's something going on with you mentally, and that's not always the case. Sometimes you just need a support system, and we can be there even if it's you need to vent. Some of our sessions, we meet weekly. We have clients that we meet with bi-weekly, and then we have clients we meet once a month, and then sometimes it's as an as-needed basis. So it's really up to you. You can kind of set the tone for how you want to be seen, but it's important that if you need help, that you don't hesitate to reach out. Also, explore your options. Don't get stuck on one specific program just because that's the program you signed up for. Make sure that that program is what you really want to do, that you're comfortable with that. And then if not, reach out to, whomever you need to reach out to and just say, hey, I'm not understanding this, or reach out to Katie in the Career Center. And so she can kind of help navigate that. Also, grad school is less like college and more like a full-time job. There's going to be more expectations on you. There's going to be more work. There's going to be more stress that's related to this this degree. So just be okay with recognizing that it's going to be a little more stressful, and then make sure you have coping skills intact to help you deal with that stress. Or you have support system, whether it's counseling, friends, family, that sort of thing. Let go of perfectionism. Graduate school is difficult, so you're not going to be perfect. You may have been a straight A student in undergrad, and then you get to graduate school and you may make your first B. Just understand that you are, as you progress, things get harder. And then if you go for your PhD, just understand it's going to be much harder than your master's. But just hang in there. So let go of the idea that I have to make an A on everything, and just do your best. And then if you do your best, everything else will come. Focus on perseverance. Just keep going. If you're going to have rough days, you're going to have challenging moments. Don't give up. Don't quit. Just keep going. And if you feel like you lack motivation, reach out to somebody. And then make sure you take time for yourself. Self-care is huge. It's very important. And we preach that to all of our clients, graduate, undergraduate. We preach it to staff, faculty, administrators, everyone. It's important for you to take care of yourself. And by that, I don't mean the things we do daily, brush our teeth, things of that nature. I mean, whether it's going for a walk or going to the lake or watching your favorite movie, eating your favorite meal once, whatever it is, crafting that you feel like gives you a sense of peace, and it allows you to take care of yourself. That's important as well. So make sure you follow those tips. If you need anything, like I said, for counseling, don't hesitate to email Jenny. You can also email me and I can help facilitate that as well. Email Sherry Proctor if you have any questions about disability services. Also our PA, her name is Mary Frances Sears, and you can access her appointment book through the online portal. And that's all I have. Does anybody have any questions or anything?
All right. Well, thank you, Kelly. I know we have a lot of information in Canvas, which everyone will hear about before the session is over. So thank you so much for joining us today. We appreciate it.
You're welcome.
All right. All right. Next up is Mary Ann Gosnell. Mary Ann is our Director of Graduate Student Support and Success. So welcome, Mary Ann.
Oh, thank you, Emily. Hi, everyone. Welcome to grad school at LR. As Emily said, I am Mary Ann Gosnell, and I serve as the Director of Graduate Support and Success. I'm excited about supporting you, our graduate students, to achieve success in all areas of your life. And as Aisha said, I want you to feel like you belong. So welcome. You've heard from some very special people today who truly want you to succeed as well. In fact, everyone at LR believes in supporting our students. So I hope you will take advantage of what we have to offer so you can feel supported throughout your time here. On the first day of classes, which is Monday, you are no longer a prospective student. You're going to be a current student. So your enrollment counselors have done a great job in getting you here today, but now it's my turn to get to know you. So reach out to me if you have a question or concern, or if you simply do not know who to ask. I'm happy to sit down with you and to try to figure out your next steps. If you need help with goal setting, time management, getting organized, or other variables that can affect your academics, I'm happy to help you with that as well. And I will be reaching out to some of you to provide extra support, and everyone will be hearing from me a lot during registration. So I send out a lot of emails and call people. So this week, as Emily talked about, most of you were invited to a Canvas site. It's called Graduate Student Orientation and Beyond. If you haven't been invited yet, you will be soon. So I'm going to share my screen so that I can show you what that looks like. Let me see here. Okay, do you see what you're supposed to be seeing? I'm going to look over here because it's on my left monitor here. I'm not going to read everything word for word, but I'm just going to go through a few things that are relevant for current students, and then Emily's going to fill in the gaps for the orientation piece. So when I'm done. So there's a very nice welcome from Dr. Wood. Please read that. It encompasses everything we want for you throughout your experience here at LR. The next little piece of the next module is about our COVID safety procedures. And I believe most of you have already received emails from me, from the graduate school, and from Dean Katie Fisher regarding our safety policy. If you could please upload the necessary documentation. Her email is right here, and it has the links where you would submit that information. There's the waiver to fill out should you qualify for a waiver. And there's some additional instructions. And then there's our updated policy right there. So this is very important. You have to submit this by the first day of classes. So I hope you all can get to that, at least this weekend. I'm going to scroll down, and I'm just going to highlight there's some information specific for the Asheville campus that if you are an Asheville student, you would want to read. And then likewise with the Columbia campus information. I'm scrolling again. This section called Current Student Resources. These two items are a little bit redundant. There's same information on both of these, except for I did on the Connect with Us, I have my information right there. You can email me, you can call me, or you can make an appointment with me using this link right here. So try to be very accessible. We also have a video chat on Zoom Monday through Thursdays from 1:30 to 4:30. We're still doing that for summer, right, Emily? Yeah. Yeah, okay. And then there's some other information for you. Let me see here. Okay. Then I'm going to scroll down a little bit here. We plan to have a series of information sessions starting in the fall. Stay tuned for information about that. It's called the Graduate Hour. Here is the LR academic calendar. Please learn that calendar. You'll need to know important dates for drop ad, registration, withdrawal dates, and other dates that could impact your semester. One important date is May 28th, is the last day to withdraw without any financial implications. So please keep May 28th forefront in your mind. It's a very important date. Here we have the student handbook, and here's how do I make an appointment in Cornerstone. I believe we have it down here as well. I just noticed that. So then there's a resource guide for students on sex, gender-based misconduct. So that would be good for y'all to read as well. Katie Wohlman has provided information here. There's a welcome from her. And then here's additional information about the Cornerstone. And then here is a little tip sheet from the library system. So it's really worth your time to go in there and look at all that. Please use this site often. If you're still unsure where to turn, just reach out to me and I can help point you in the right direction. I talked about our graduate hour. We might also have information sessions that aren't connected with the graduate hour that are perhaps co-sponsored with other departments on campus, like the counseling department or Katie Wohlman's department. We also hope to offer some social events so you can meet your fellow graduate students. We had a little bit of a hard time during COVID and with people getting to know each other. So hopefully we can offer some in-person events this year. So we'll have, I'll be sending out some information about the graduate student organization as well. So please get involved in your graduate school experience. Also, just a couple more things. Remember to check your LR email frequently, and please like the Graduate School of Lenoir-Rhyne on Facebook, follow us on Instagram to get information and updates on a regular basis. We do send out lots of information by email and social media, and that's the best way to feel connected. So open up to us and talk to support services, student services, talk to your professors, talk to anyone in the graduate school, including Dr. Wood. She's always open to a chat. Attend our information sessions and please reach out to me too. If you are unsure of what you need to do to ensure your success, I'd love to talk to you to help you find your next steps. I want to be your advocate as you go through your journey at LR. And the last thing I want to say is remember why you're here and put forth your very best effort. You can do this. Thanks.
Excuse me.
Oh, sure, go ahead.
I have a question. So with the COVID thing, sorry, I haven't checked my LR email in a minute and I just checked it. And I'm starting class like next week and I haven't been vaccinated. I'm planning to get my first shot on Monday, but
are you in an online program? An online program? Yeah. Well, you would qualify for the waiver.
So I just fill the waiver out? You
fill the waiver out, yes.
I feel like I just keep getting all of these like like moments of just kidding, like there's this thing you didn't know about that's like gonna mess you up.
No, we'll make it work for you. Don't get stressed.
Sorry, I feel like it's happening where it's like there's some hiccup that I'm like, excuse me, like
no. We'll work with you, but you do qualify for the test waiver.
Okay,
yeah.
Thank you.
Okay.
All right. Well, thank you, Mary Ann, for that information. It's very helpful. Well, my name's Emily. Welcome again. I think you've heard my voice, but I haven't introduced myself really. So I'm Emily Heaberlin. I'm the Director of Graduate Admission. And you've heard from quite a few people today, and we really haven't formally introduced some of our staff, but I'm joined by all the speakers you've just taught or listened to and met. But Jan Wolf, which many of you have worked with from Asheville, is with us today. Nicole Simmering, our enrollment counselor in Hickory, and then Nicole Watson, who works at our Asheville Center, is at least on with us right now. And then some more folks will be on at 4 o'clock for the Asheville session. So welcome to you all. It's been a pleasure working with you up to this point. I know Some of you have even worked with Eric Brandon. So we have quite a few on that graduate enrollment staff and points of contact for you. But I'm going to dive just a little bit further into some things on Canvas that are more starting info for you, and then dive into the self-service and show you where you can find Canvas and all of that good stuff. So I am going to share my screen as well. Get there. Okay, what do you guys see? You see the website? Yes? Okay, thank you. All right, so I'm currently on the home page. So at the top left-hand corner, you see LRU Community. And when you hover over that tab, just click right here on Current Students. And it's gonna take you to the next page. And this is just several different tabs you can click on, of course. But for use today, we're going to go right into the portal initially. And keep in mind that mine's going to look a little bit different than yours since I'm on staff and you're a student. So your setup could look a little bit different than mine. But right here is where you should be able to find your Canvas tab and also how to get directly into self-service. But there's also other things here that talk about your rave alert, which you may have gotten information about that in your email. That rave alert is where you can enter your phone number or your email, and it will alert you if there's a thunderstorm warning or a tornado warning or something like that going on campus, or some other event that you may need to be aware of. So that comes out to you on that rave alert. So that's important. It can keep you in the know if something's going on, of course. But I'm going to go ahead and click into this Canvas tab. Now, keep in mind that if you are recently deposited, I know we had a few questions about Canvas in the chat. It could be that it'll take about 24 hours, if that, whoops, the wrong password, to get access to the system. So just be patient. Hopefully by tomorrow, you'll have access, but Jan or Nicole can help get you there as well. So this is my current dashboard. You can see that yours might have one course, or it may not list a course yet. The course may not be available until your professor actually publishes it. And in some cases, that could be very close to the start of class. It could be Monday morning. So just know that your professor, once they publish it, it will be visible to you in this Canvas portal. So I think everybody sets this up a little bit different, just however you want to design your dashboard. I have color-coded things. You can drop off courses, say once you complete them this summer, you can drop it off and only have the fall ones active. So just get in there and poke around and sort of set up that dashboard at how you feel comfortable. So I'm going to go back into this Graduate Student Orientation Beyond course and go back into those modules that you saw Mary Ann go over. Again, the welcome, and then right here is a tab where it has Meet the Graduate School Staff. So it has everyone listed there for points of contact within the graduate school. And then I'm going to scroll down a little bit further. You should have received in your registration email lots of information, but there were about 4 to 5 recordings that we gave you that took you right to YouTube, how to navigate the portal and self-service, how to navigate Canvas, how to find books at the bookstore, and those are your recordings that you have access to now. The main one that has changed, and I will cover more about that in a moment, is about your email. So if you need to refer back to any of this, you can find it right here in this Canvas course. Just some helpful links, and we tried to make them pretty brief. The Canvas one's a little bit more lengthy just because it goes into a lot of detail on what you need to know with Canvas. Let's see, I think Mary Ann was wonderful and touched on the rest of that information. So again, if you're an Asheville student, certainly click in there. Jan and the team has added some very helpful information just about, where do you get discounts in Asheville? What restaurants can I go to, or what stores offer a discount? Are you moving to the area? Who's a good moving company to use? There's tons of information within this Asheville campus details. And then I'm not sure we have many on here from Columbia, but if I have a few, it has some very specific campus details about security and things like that for Columbia too. Okay, so I'm going to pop back out of Canvas and go into the self-service. If I'm going too fast, please let me know. So we've got a little bit of time, so don't hesitate to ask questions too. This is where you went in and registered for classes. So if you have just deposited this week, we're probably helping you through that process, but for the future, this is where you will go from here on out to register for your courses. You will notice here, I need to log back in and I'm already into the portal, so it already has my information saved there. But you have some different tabs. Of course, this is the home tab where you can find your courses, register, view your schedule. And when you're registering for classes, that information is real time. So if you're sitting at your computer at 7 o'clock in the morning in, I don't know, November, when spring registration opens and you need to get into a class, you know, click it, add it, save it, and get it into out of your cart and officially register for that. So just know that that information is real time. You can't register, of course, for anything unless you have your student account details. So just keep that in mind. But if you go here to the Find Courses, just as an overview, I have some occupational therapy courses pulled up here, such as for ease of description here. I've just typed in, you know, the prefix there for OCC and the course number. You can select the period that you're looking for that is active. And then if you know that you're looking for a specific session, you can pull that up as well and see what is being offered that particular term. And I can see that nothing's offered in a mini one for fall, but it sure should be for the full term. So just, you can click through there and look at some various classes. Let's pull up a little bit easier one here. 520 offered in the summer, guys. Nicole or Jan, is that a good one to search? Okay, thank you. So here is clinical mental health counseling. This is a good example. The 520 course, it will list here the 2 sections that are available for the summer term. And it's a full term course with 3 credit hours. This gives you the dates, start and finish dates, the schedule, when it meets, and how many seats are available in those courses. If the course is full, you'll see this legend over here. The book will actually be read and closed. So if it's an open book, it still means it has seats. And here is where you can see if it's a full term. So those sometimes are a little bit confusing. So I just wanted to point that out for you. All right. So again, it's just a different place to go to the register tab. You can click on classes, view your schedule. If you've put in for any sort of permission requests, which might come down a few semesters if you've are working with a professor on a particular permission with a course, you can view things like that on this particular tab. But the finances tab is one I really want to highlight here. I've been receiving quite a few questions about, you know, when's my bill due? How do I view my statement? Where do I pay the bill? Who can access it? So this is your portal to where you can view your statements. So my account's gonna have 0, you know, I'm not enrolled in any classes right now, but it should give you basic your details, ID number, things like that. But then if you go to the overview and click around in here, it's going to give you some options. So, and again, I'm going to go through this very quickly. So if you do have specific questions, reach out to Jan or Nicole and they can walk you through this as well at a different pace. But here's where you can view payment plan options. So if, say, you're not taking out student loans and you're planning to pay out of pocket, or if you want to set up that installment payment plan, you can click there and view the plan options. And this is directly through the business office. If you need to make a payment, you can, you know, view details, check your balance. All of this information is here. View transactions, view past statements, everything's here. So you will not get a bill in the mail. It's all electronic right through the portal, and you'll get email updates on when your statement's ready, if it's a preliminary statement and things like that. Now some other things, and I don't know if it's coming up for me or not, is a place where you can add another person to your account so they can view your financial statement. And it's not where they can view your academics. They can't see your transcripts and grades and things like that, But if they need to, you know, add a different method here, payment plans, there it is, send a payer invitation. So if you have someone that you need, you know, that's going to be making payments on your behalf, or they might just have given you a present for Christmas and they want to pay something on your account, or if it's a spouse, a partner, anything like that, you can give them access and they'll get the email as well when it's time to pay that statement. All right, anything I didn't touch on, Nicole or Jan there? Okay. So simply you can just sign out right there and go back into the self-service again. Let me get back in there. The next tab over is where you can view grades. You can look at your unofficial transcript. You can request an official transcript and view your grade report. So many times the professors will post your grade in Canvas, of course, but your official grades get reported into self-service. So you can always go and review grade reports here as well. So here is a search tab. It will take you to the course catalog where you can go back to do section searches, takes you to the directory. But then here is your profile tab. So, you know, if you just finished undergrad and we have your current address, say at where you lived in an apartment but you have since moved, the best place to change your information is right on this profile tab. So you can go in here and click on addresses, phone numbers, personal info, and change that. And it will go to the registrar's office and update things on your record through the registrar's office, so it translates over to your transcript as well. Next is a tab. I'm going to click on it, but I feel like not much is going to be there for me. So if you click on consents and reports, sometimes we get questions about a checklist item that looks like it might be past due or something like that. I think the handbook is one of those items. That's something I do want to go back and revisit, because we do get questions about where am I supposed to complete that? You know, what is this and what am I supposed to do? So if we go back into the Canvas course that we have set up, one moment. Let's get back to it. Go down to modules. I think I need to click this view. Okay. Under the information for new students, right here, the Lenoir-Rhyne Student Handbook, which is referred to as the CUB. This is going to give you a link, obviously, to view that, but it's that student handbook consent form. So if that's something that you haven't completed and you see it on your checklist, this will provide you the details on how to get there. If you don't see anything once you get to that point, you should receive details from the Student Life office, from Dr. Fisher's office. And I typically have people reach out to Becky Sharp if they're having any issues with that, who is the administrative assistant in Student Life. So again, if you have any issues, certainly reach out to me, Jan, or Nicole, and we can help you through that. All right. Something to keep in mind. If you haven't checked your email, like Marianne said, make sure you do so. There has been some changes with your LR email, which many of you may have been notified of at this point. But previously, all accounts, you know, took you right to Google through Gmail. But the migration through the IT department is complete. Things are being processed, so you can still go to your Gmail account and access that email and access any files that you had saved, but you cannot send or you won't be receiving emails there any longer. It goes right to the Microsoft 365. So you just go there and log in with your LR email. If you already have an existing account, you would just need to add your student email to that particular point. So the past emails are in the process of moving over, but like I said, you can still access them right now from Google. If you have anything in there, say you are a current LR student for undergrad and you need to go back and capture any of the files that you had on record, you'll have to move those files over to your new email or save them wherever you see fit. So just keep that in mind, but you should have gotten some information from the IT department as well. So we're running early. Does anybody have any questions for us? We are going to host a final Q&A tomorrow at noon. Is that correct? Jan and Nicole, yes. So they will be sending you out after we get off this session, the link to join us tomorrow at noon. It's completely optional, but we just wanted to provide a last minute Q&A for anything that just has come up. If you just think of something over the night and need to join us tomorrow, you can. It's not required, but if you feel like you want to join us, certainly do so. So just wanted to remind you of that. Any questions? I see a bunch in the chat box, but Jan usually gets to those, so.
Yeah, Emily, I was just going to say about the COVID waiver.
Mm-hmm.
There, we know it's in the email, but can you just talk about that a little bit and tell them other places they could find it if it's not? And, yeah.
Let me go to the module. Hold on just a second. And Marianne might have some details, but I'm going to go click there. Here's the instructions. So if you go to back to the course in Canvas and go to the module for the COVID-19 information and requirements, but I do know that the Dean of Students office has emailed information out as well to your LR account. So you should be able to find it there as well. But here is the test waiver request.
The links to upload any of the required documentation are in Katie's email. So, and I have the email in the Canvas site. So she did send out an email today, actually. So there's a fresh email for you to look at that will have this same information in it.
Thank you, Marianne.
Just read it carefully because it is a lot of information, but it should all be there. Yeah.
Okay. I do want to take you back out to the website since we do have a few minutes here. Just some helpful links and how to help you navigate. The marketing department is going to be revamping the website, so come August, a lot of this will look different. But you can find your directory down here at the bottom. So if you are, you're not sure, I need to get in touch with Sherry Proctor or Jenny Smith, and certainly it's in Canvas. But if you scroll all the way down to the bottom and just click on the directory, you can search by first name or last name, but then here are some frequently dialed numbers. So the IT help desk is 24/7, 365 days a year. So if you are having issues with IT, you can't get logged into something, you can dial this help desk number. And if they can't help you on that phone call, they will put in a ticket to IT. Which is on campus, that will reach out and assist you. But typically on a first call, they should be able to help resolve issues, but if not, they'll look into the issue further for you. But otherwise, you've got the bookstore number. This is the main number to Hickory. For our folks in Asheville, the librarian there, Craig, is going to give you some more information at the 4 o'clock session. So just know you'll have some more details there. But here is the number to financial aid. For school closings or anything like that, when wintertime approaches, you'll have that. So this is just a good place to check for frequently dialed numbers. And then too, you want to go over here and click on the Student Life tab. This gives you different options, and it covers a lot of the information that, that our speakers provided today. So you'll find some helpful links within this Student Life tab as well. But if you're a student in Asheville, certainly you can go click on the locations and click on the Asheville Center and go directly to the Asheville page. Some of it will direct you back to the main page, but you certainly have campus news, events, and things like that posted on the Asheville page.
I have a question, if that's okay.
Sure.
So I'm sitting here trying to mess on the LR website as you guys are discussing, and so I was able to log into the student portal and click on Canvas. For the Canvas username, is it gonna be the same as our email without the @my.lr.edu?
Correct. It's your first name dot last name. So your
Okay.
username. Yep. Good
All right.
question.
And then would the password be whatever the password was we made up for our email?
I'm doing it now. It's sending you one to your email address. It's making you like update it.
Yeah, so you got that first temporary password that you can update to whatever you wanted it to be, but it's the same username and password for email, Canvas, and self-service. Okay.
I have a question. You said there's someone from the bookstore I have a bookstore specific question.
Yeah. Are you in Asheville, Katie? Are you an Asheville student?
Yeah, I am.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, Craig, the Asheville librarian, is going to be on the 4 o'clock session.
Okay, great.
So, yeah, I just wanted to make some time for some last minute questions since we were running early.
Yeah.
Yeah, so just so everyone's aware, just some updates about your program orientations. So the Master of Arts in Teaching students, there's probably quite a few of you on the orientation today. So your program orientation will be in August. Most likely, I can't say 100% sure, but most likely on August 19th, because that's going to be our date for fall orientation, and we're hoping it's scheduled the same day. But in the meantime, in this Canvas course that we have, am I still sharing it? No, okay. In the Canvas course, there is a module that is titled Master of Arts in Teaching Orientation Video, and Jan sent it to you in an email, but you can access it in Canvas. That is only for the Master of Arts in Teaching students. So there was just some conflicts with scheduling today. So just know that you can access that video that Dr. Weddington provided for us. If you have any questions, reach out to Jan or Dr. Weddington directly, you know, if you still need to get registered for classes or have any questions. But our Asheville students, you all will be staying on this meeting for the 4 o'clock Asheville session, which Dr. Dempsey, I think, is logged in, and he'll begin that session here at 4 o'clock, unless we jump off a little bit early. But our MBA students, your program orientation will be at 4:30, and you should have received a separate Zoom link for that session. I believe same thing for counseling. You have a separate counseling orientation Zoom link that will start at 4:30, as well as sustainability studies. So we have those sessions today as well at 4:30. So the Asheville folks, again, at 4 o'clock, you'll have your session, and then Hickory, you can log off for 30 minutes and take a break and come back at 4:30 for your program orientations. So if nobody has any questions, we'll just jump off early, and certainly reach out to me, Jan, or Nicole. It's been a pleasure working with you all. I know I've only worked with a few of you maybe by email, but we look forward to having you with us at Lenoir-Rhyne, and are glad that you'll be joining us this summer. So thank you.
Emily.
Oh, yes, sorry.
Yeah, quick question. No,
Sure.
I just messaged in the chat. I did not get a Zoom link for the 4:30 MBA orientation.
Okay.
I also don't have Canvas access, so I don't know if they're linked together. Maybe that's why.
It's not linked together with that one. So this is Lauren.
Yeah, I can send
Okay.
my email in a private chat or to whomever I need.
Yeah, Nicole, if you'll send Nicole Simmering your email in the chat, and she will get that link to you.
Awesome.
Awesome. Okay. Thanks for letting
Thank you,
me know.
ma'am.
You're welcome. All right, everyone. Well, again, if you're Asheville, please stay on. Dr. Dempsey, Jan, and Nicole and Susie will join you here shortly, and everyone else, you'll have your program orientations at 4:30. Have a great day.
Well, that's great, y'all. We've got some extra time, so just a little bit before we get started for Asheville. So I'm trying to answer questions as fast as I can, but y'all just go ahead and unmute and maybe ask them if I've not answered them. We will, for the counselors who are, some of y'all are having some questions, those are also good questions to ask about in your counseling program orientation. Especially when it gets to the classes for the fall, because they hadn't given us like that third option. Some of y'all want to take 3 classes in the fall, so they're probably closer to knowing what that's going to be. So yeah, if y'all haven't gotten into Canvas, don't worry. You know, we'll check on that. There's a couple of little things that could be going wrong, especially if y'all just recently submitted your enrollment deposit. You know, sometimes it takes just a little while for the databases to catch up with each other. so yeah.
Hey, Jan.
Yeah. Hey.
Oh, did not receive a link for the sustainability studies.
That's fine. You just stay right where you are, and then there's you and Jason are going to just stay right here with me, and I'm going to put y'all in a breakout session with Keith at 4:30. So you're doing just right.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Sure.
Hey, Jan.
Yeah.
Hey, I sent you kind of a series of messages as I was trying.
Sure.
I was like, it's the weirdest thing. I've had no trouble getting on the portal and accessing everything, including my email. So it's all gone pretty well, except for whatever reason, I'm not having access to any of that today. And my email looks like the most recent email I received was from Monday.
Okay.
So I think there must be some kind of issue with that, and it's not accepting my password on Canvas or my login.
Okay. Okay.
Now I haven't done it on the computer, so maybe there's something going on with my phone, but I was trying to do it while we were in the session to see if I had issues. So
try it after this. Try it with your computer, because sometimes it's a little wonky with the phone. I don't know why, but just starting out, and then sometimes it catches up a little bit better afterwards. But I'll go ahead and I mean, I've written your name down, and I've got everyone else who's been putting in you know, into the chat box that y'all are having trouble with Canvas, and so I'll make sure that that we go through that again. And then I'll also be sending y'all the link for tomorrow at noon. So if things don't work out, and you know, after the counseling session and everything later today, or after the MBA session, just let me know. You know, or join us tomorrow at noon. Okay.
I won't be able to, but just I thought I would mention about the email in case anybody else had that issue, since it sounds like a couple of other emails maybe got sent out today and I didn't receive anything since Monday. So I know they changed over from Gmail to Microsoft this week.
Yeah.
So maybe there's an issue. I don't know.
Did any of y'all get an email from Dean Katie Fisher?
I did, but I had to go into Office 365 and log in that way. You can't get it from your Gmail.
Okay.
At all.
Okay. All right. So, but it went to your new LR email, correct? So.
Yeah, once I logged into 365.
Okay. And Amy, have you been able to get into Canvas and everything else?
Canvas, yes, but I was unable to find the orientation under courses that we went over today, so I didn't have that either.
All right, that's what, all right, so let me get that. All righty. So after this, what I usually do is I'll let the registrar know who's having trouble getting in. So there's a couple of little things that it could be. One of the usual things is that if you're not getting the email, then just double check that you verified your email. Make sure you've done that properly. When you have to enter your student ID number, you are supposed to include the 2 zeros in front of it, just so that y'all know. Y'all have your student ID numbers, right? Everyone? Yes. Okay. If you don't, Bence, you won't have yours yet, but we're going to get yours to you very, very soon.
Well, I'm excited to meet her.
That's what I figured.
Yep. So you'll be in good shape, like your shirt, by the way.
Okay,
Thank you. Yeah, I wore it just for you today.
Oh, thank you. Excellent.
Not really, but
I know. So yeah, I'll get that. And if the other part of that is just to be sure that when you are trying to log into Canvas, you just do your first name and then dot and then your last name, but not the @my.lredu. if that doesn't open it too, then sometimes it just means that the registrar needs to just press a little button somewhere so that you'll have access to that. So we'll get y'all all there, I promise. So yeah. And in just a little bit, I'll also ask, Dr. Dempsey is going to be talking to y'all in just a little bit, and I'm asking him to also just address the COVID waiver issue, which all of y'all will, for the summer classes, be able to use that waiver because you're not going to be attending classes on campus. The exceptions are going to be for sustainability studies. And so for Rebecca and for Jason, yay, y'all will have a different set of instructions for what to do to prove that you don't have COVID or that you've had the vaccines and all of that for the rest of the summer. I think y'all only have, if I'm not mistaken, 4 of those permaculture classes that are going to be on campus. Does that sound about right? Not sure. Well, Keith will let y'all know, and I will double check with him too. So yeah. All right, y'all. Any other last questions before, and I'll let Dr. Dempsey speak after. But any other questions that are just burning?
Just a quick one. I'm sorry, you might have already said this. I was kind of distracted with the COVID waiver thing.
I'm sorry. Yeah, sure. I understand. Yeah.
Okay, wait. So now there's the new email. Oh, technology is really hard for me.
No, it's okay. It's okay.
Okay, so I'm looking at the email from important news about your LR email account. How do I access this new email exactly?
There should be instructions on there. Yeah.
So it says you will log on to office.com, but it doesn't say what. Is it just the same username and password we had for the Gmail one?
Oh, that's a good question.
Yes.
Yes.
I just logged into mine because I noticed that I hadn't gotten any emails recently either, Aaron. So I said, well, let me go try the 365 for the switch, and I used same email, same password, and then I just opened up Outlook inside 365, and it's all there with emails from today. So
good.
But I imagine it's not like was the old one at gmail.com or something?
no, it was my.lr.edu.
Yeah.
You would just go to the office.com and then log in there, and that's it, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Thanks.
Thanks, Jason. So all will be revealed. I know. I hate that we chose this week to do that. Sorry. So yeah.
Cool. Thank you.
All right. And Dr. Dempsey, you're with us. I saw you chime in. So
I'm here. Good to see everybody. My name is Michael Dempsey, and I apologize for all of the confusion. It's normal to be confused at the beginning of a semester. We're all like that, and it's normal to have hiccups. But with this Office 365 conversion happening right upon us, it adds another wrinkle. So apologies. But one thing I can promise you is that we will get there, and it's pretty cool because I'm already seeing collaboration among Katie and Jason here on how to complete a project together. So beautiful thing. I'm the Dean and Director of the Asheville Campus. And what that means is essentially I oversee our operation in Asheville, the university's operation. Some of my favorite and most important colleagues are on the call here, and you'll hear from them today in addition to Jan. I report to Dr. Amy Wood. I think she talked to you earlier. She's much cooler than I am, much friendlier than I am, and she's just a super awesome person. And then I also help the professors, of course, achieve their goals. I do a lot of work in the community. I work with businesses. I work with students. I work with other colleges, other universities, lots of nonprofits. And one of the things that we pride ourselves on here at LR Asheville is community service. It's been a very strange year, as everyone knows, and we really haven't had a chance to get out into the community and do what we like to do most, which is help people improve their lives, whether that be through nonprofit assistance or what have you, community service. So I'll be reaching out to you hopefully soon. I got to tell you, I was in Best Buy the other day, a couple days ago. There wasn't a mask in sight. And so I imagine COVID is kind of taking a turn. It's not over necessarily, but I do kind of have a tear in my eye. This is probably the last time I'm going to be able to present to a group of people in a coat and tie and flip-flops and shorts at the same time. Next time I do this, I'm going to have to be, fully dressed all the way down to my shoes. So I'm going to enjoy this ride while it lasts. And I do welcome you. You guys are making a big decision, and you have made a big decision, and it is a big decision, and it's a big monetary decision. It's an investment in your future. It's an investment in your family. It's an investment in your, perhaps your self-perception, whatever it may be that is driving you to succeed. And it's not an easy road. And I'm sure that Dr. Wood told you that. Grad school is a bit different from undergrad in that you're not so much, you are a student, of course, but you're going to be working with colleagues more than you have in the past, perhaps. Your professors are going to be mentors. The students you're going to be working with are going to be a network that you're going to develop and become perhaps even lifelong friends and allies with. So keep that in mind. It's going to be a rigorous journey. There are going to be times when you say, oh my God, this is never going to end. But I can trust you, much like the Microsoft 365 switchover. This will end. We will get through this. You will get through this. And it will be a good investment for you. It may not feel that way now, but I can tell you that as a person who probably has one too many degrees, it has been a very good investment for me and my family, and I'm sure that it will be for you and yours. Lenoir-Rhyne is a special place, and it's composed of special people. And I got to tell you, you're among rock stars. I'm going to tell you about a few of our rock stars, because I want you to know that you're among good people. These are our students. These are our graduates. I'm going to shine a light on Dr. Dan Waters. He's a heart surgeon who decided to get his degree with us in writing, and now he's writing his fourth novel. A heart surgeon of 30 years decided to go into writing novels. He's on his fourth one. Jael Radigan, the owner of the French Broad Chocolate Lounge, she has her MBA with us. And now, of course, if you know much about French Broad, if you're here in Asheville, you know that that place has exploded. They've got the factory down by the river. Jael is an amazing person. We've got Daniel Nevins, who is a nationally known artist. He has works all over the country that are very expensive, but he has decided to get his counseling degree, and now he is doing art therapy, and he's about to graduate from our program. I got a couple real rock stars too. Andy Pond, the great banjo player from Snake Oil Medicine Show, who got his MAT with us and now is teaching at Invest Collegiate Imagine. So he picks banjo on the side now, teaches all week long. And then of course, Barrett Smith, who plays bass for the Steep Canyon Rangers, about to wrap up his counseling degree with us. So yes, you are among very cool people, very successful people, and I wish you the best on your journey. Now, the things that I talk about are, some of them are fun, like the Rockstar piece. Some of them are boring. Some of them are not very savory. I'm gonna have to go through a couple things with you that are not very fun to talk about. And I'm gonna share my screen. Hope I get this right. All right, do you see a red presentation, everybody? Great, let me see if I can stretch myself out here a bit. Hold on one second. I want to be able to see your faces. It's not working. All right, well anyway, I'll go through this presentation and I'll come back to you to seeing your faces. Jan, you can't see this, correct? Okay, good. This is a very short presentation. This will take about, Jan, I'm gonna make your day. I took about 5 slides out of this thing today when I got up this morning. So it's gonna be short and sweet and to the point. But I do need to tell you about 2 things, Title IX and campus safety, which will include information about the COVID stuff that we were talking about earlier. So, all right. Title IX is essentially a federal law that prohibits discrimination on the basis of sex. It came about in 1972, but for our purposes, it is the law that I am required to tell you about because it involves things of a sexual crime nature. And if we receive reports of any type of thing like sexual harassment, stalking, God forbid, rape, those types of things, we are required, of course, to report those to law officers. I want to tell you from the beginning, nothing like this has ever happened on the Asheville campus. We've been open for 9 years now, and nothing of this nature has happened on our campus. But of course, I'm not in the business of giving a history lesson. I'm in the business of preventative measures. And so that's why I'm talking to you about this today. So again, Title IX covers these things: sexual harassment, sexual assault, etc., stalking. And many of you will not be on campus at all this summer. So, but my advice to you is that if you feel threatened in any way, shape, or form, that is very unacceptable to Lenoir-Rhyne University. And so you should tell someone about it so that we can remove the threat and deal with it through our judicial process. Again, it hasn't happened in Asheville, but we are prepared to address something like this if it does occur. I do have to tell you though that if you report it, I am required by law to report it to the authorities. If you tell a professor, for example, let's say you're in the counseling department and you're confiding in one of your professors, he or she by law has to tell me so that I need to tell the authorities. So keep that in mind. You can report confidentially to a counselor. And when I say that, I mean a counselor who comes and talks to you one-on-one, gives you a counseling session, not a counseling professor or a pastor. And those folks are not required by law to tell me or to tell the authorities. But I just want to be very clear. Sometimes we take people into our confidences about certain situations, and it has consequences that we don't intend it to have. I want you to feel safe and secure at Lenoir-Rhyne, but I also want you to know that we are required to report anything of this nature, and we will do so if told about it. Finally, here are some resources for you. I believe at some point in time you're going to receive an orientation packet that should include these in here. But essentially, we do our business with Appalachian Counseling Services, and they used to come to campus. They'll probably be coming back soon to do counseling sessions with our students. They do virtual counseling sessions with our students. We also have a campus pastor, and we have the non-confidential resources like myself and all of the professors at Lenoir-Rhyne. So now the other part of this is that at some point in your time with us, you will receive some online modules that come to you and they're required for you to complete. And essentially they will teach you about Title IX laws, rules, and regulations so that if you come into a situation that you are uncertain about, that you will know what to do if that arises. I don't bring this stuff up to freak you out. It's just a matter of that we live in as we all know, a very interesting world these days. People tend to take liberties these days that they really shouldn't, and they probably always have, of course. And so we are trying to prevent that, even though, again, it has not occurred on this particular campus before. So the module will be required. You got to complete it, and then you will, in later years, you'll be asked to do an ongoing tutorial about this same topic. So just be aware of that. I think it takes about an hour to complete. It's a long hour. I'll admit it, I did it myself, but it's something that you have to do. All right, campus security. I've just heard Jan say that none of you were coming to campus this summer. I'm bummed out about that. I am so tired of being in my office all by myself. Well, that's not true. Me and Jan and Susie and Nicole, we hang out, we have a lot of laughs, but there are not many students around. So hopefully by fall, you will be on our campus. But I want to tell you about that. As I'm sure you already know, our campus is at 36 Montford Avenue, right on the cusp of downtown. We feel like it's a very safe location. The main entrances are only accessible by key card after 5 p.m. So at some point in time, when you do visit our campus, Susie Chandler or someone in our offices will issue you a key card that will grant you access to the building as student access. So after 5 o'clock and on weekends, no one can get into our areas except for you and the professors and myself and the staff members. So keep that in mind. We've got cameras all over the place. The parking lot is well lit. We've got an emergency plan. I'll email that to you. I do want to stress this though, again, and I'll tell you my name again because I know you'll forget it. I mean, who wouldn't? My name is Michael Dempsey, and if you have any problems or concerns about safety, I urge you to contact me immediately. I'm the person who, if there's a light out, tell me about it. I'll get it turned on. If there's a dark part of the parking lot, tell me about it. I'll make sure that we get a light shine on that. If there's a strange person hanging around, I'm the person who calls the police and perhaps helps escort the person off the property. These are all the things that I do, or part of what I do. So keep that in mind. All right, my favorite topic, everybody's favorite topic, right? COVID-19 precautions. I'm going to tell you that Lenoir-Rhyne University is a very, very lucky place. We've had the lowest rate of COVID. I mean, not in the country, of course, but we have had such a minimal rate of COVID. The Asheville campus has had 0 instances of COVID. In Hickory, we've had a very low rate of COVID, and that is because we have been very stringent on our COVID policies. Almost overbearingly so. I won't lie to you. I mean, sometimes you think, golly, why do I have to submit a piece of paper when I'm not even going to come to campus? But keep in mind that we have kept our community very safe throughout this time, and we have not had to go to extreme measures like some other universities by closing up our shop, semi-permanently. We've kept things going, and so I feel really lucky that we have had the leadership here at Lenoir-Rhyne who's kept us going. But I say all this, I preface all this to tell you that you will need to submit some paperwork related to COVID, whether you're coming to campus or not, even if you're on in a fully online program. So on this slide, you can see that if you are taking a class with us this summer, and I know there's a counseling class, but I think it's probably upperclassmen. And then there is a permaculture class that was just mentioned by Jan. So for those folks who are coming to class, or if you just want to use our computer lab, or just study or have a study group, then you are considered a person who's going to be in our building at some point during the semester. So we will need a copy of your official vaccination card, or a copy of a lab report with a negative PCR COVID-19 test 10 days or less before the start of the semester. When I say PCR, that's the type of test that is administered by a healthcare professional. We also do rapid testing, which our staff can administer. That is done throughout the semester at on a random basis. So keep that in mind. If you are planning to come to the campus at any time for class, study, computer lab, you will be subject to the random testing throughout the semester. Now, keep in mind, this is only for summer. In fall, we'll probably have some slightly different rules. You'll be apprised of that via email, of course. Now, for the people who are taking classes fully online, never plan to come to campus, don't even live in Asheville, for gosh sakes, probably. We still need a copy of your official vaccination card or a completed waiver request form. These things will be coming to you from 2 people. Dr. Katie Fisher, who is our Dean of Students and is based at our Hickory campus. She's the head honcho. She's the muscle, right? Now, I'm her minion. And so when Dean Katie sends out a big email that's threatening and saying, oh, you need to submit the paperwork, then I sweep in her minion to come around and try to make sure that we get the paperwork that's not been collected. So I'll be sending you emails too. So my advice is please, 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 don't ignore those emails. Submit the required paperwork. She will provide you with links on how to do this. So there will be instructions in there on how to do this stuff. It takes about 5 minutes to fill out the waiver, maybe even less. And of course, a copy of your vaccination card shouldn't take very long either. So that's my spiel. I'm sticking to it. We got the welcome. We got the Title IX. We got the campus safety. We got the COVID-19 precautions. Who's on first, who's on second? Welcome to Lenoir-Rhyne. You're gonna have a hell of a semester. You're gonna get a degree you're gonna be proud about, and you're gonna make a lot of friends and have new colleagues when you're done. So congratulations on choosing Lenoir-Rhyne. I'm gonna stop sharing my screen, and then Jan, I do promise I will stop yapping soon. Hold on 1 second. I wanna see everybody's faces again. I'm going to introduce one person who's probably not going to say much, although I'm going to beg her to say a word. Her name is Nicole Watson, and she is, Nicole, I'm not even sure what your title is anymore because you do so much around here. I'll call you Ms. Everything. She helps manage our office. She helps run our equity and diversity program. She is a magical person, and she is the person you would find in our front office. Near my office. She's the person that I often go, hey, Nicole, are you here? And then she'll say, yes. And I'll say, all right, well, I'm coming out to see you so we can do some business together. So Nicole, will you say hello to these fine people?
Hi, everyone. Congrats on getting started with your grad school journey. I'll be here in the office as Mike mentioned, and For those of you who are coming in person at all, feel free to pop in if you need any assistance. I'm also the one that's probably been texting you these little notices about virtual info sessions or t-shirts or whatever it might be throughout the process. So if you have that number saved and you ever text it needing assistance, I'll typically be the one to answer that. Again, welcome, and I look forward to assisting you as needed.
Okay, I promised Janet I would stop flapping my gums, and I'm going to do that. But before I do that, I'm going to turn this over to the inimitable Susie Chandler, my friend and colleague. Susie, take it away. Thanks, everybody. It's great seeing you. Good luck. Call me or email me if you need me.
Thanks, Mike. Notice he didn't mention that I probably won't say anything because that is not an affliction I have. I'm a huggy extrovert that will talk to you anytime, anywhere, and that you need it. In fact, we have a couch with a teddy bear and a pillow in our main office just primarily for this fact. I do a lot of things for the university, but for you specifically, I'm going to put my email and my cell phone in the chat box. Keep it, hang on to it, tattoo it to your forearm, because what's going to happen is at some point you're going to be studying up in the library and you're going to go to the bathroom and get locked out of the library, and your car keys and your wallet and maybe even your phone is going to be in the library, but you're on the other side of the door and can't get in. So you need to text me and be like, hey girl, hey, you said it was going to happen and it happened to me. So I will make that magic door open for 20 seconds. I see you laughing, Jason. You know how you don't take your purse to the bathroom with you. You just like walk in there and you forget. But yeah, I'm your go-to gal, especially when it goes wrong. And wait, I can't see like all y'all's dots. Do we have any MBA in the house? Can I see like some hands or feet or something, some body parts for people who are into MBA? Hey, Ashley, sweet. I got one. I don't know if that's a Vince Kirby isn't errant finger poking or that's a wave or not, but I just finished our MBA program. When I say just finished, I mean a year ago, but I graduated like a weekend ago. So it's still, feeling kind of fresh. So I've also been a student, and I can tell you that some of the things that may not seem technologically intuitive, they're just not. You're not crazy. If you need help with those, I am also happy to help. I put in my cell phone number. It's call or text. I do have a wife and a small child, and now welcome to the world. I have another one on the way. Woohoo, we get to meet her today. If it's like something I can get back with you, I absolutely will. But if I can't, I won't. So no hard feelings. Don't be like, oh, I don't want to bother her. It's after hours. I won't let you bother me, but I'll do what I can to help you out. So yeah, reach out. I will be sending you emails for things like, we have this volunteer event. Please come and throw bowling balls with us for Big Brothers Big Sisters. Or I might email you when it's time to graduate and say, hey, if you haven't applied to graduate, which feels really weird because you have to apply to graduate when you're 1 year out from graduating. So for most of you, sorry, counseling people, that's when you're 1 year in and 1 year out at the same time, right? So it's like in the middle of your program, you're applying to graduate. Yeah, and then I'll be like, hey, how many people are you bringing? How much beer are you drinking? Because we have a big girls graduation party. But yeah, you'll see emails from me about things that are going on, jobs. People send me jobs that are open and stuff like that. Hi, we are best friends now. I love it, Erin. I always need friends. So many friends. Was I not supposed to read? Oh, that was just to me. Sorry, y'all. I'm also the queen of overshare, particularly on a first date. You can ask my severely introverted public health professional wife, who's really enjoyed riding on a pandemic with me. Hi. Who has two thumbs and wants to lick all her friends? Me. So I'm glad that you all are still awake as you're going to laugh your way into your next program. But yeah, if you need somebody to talk to, I am so your gal. I still talk on the phone. I'm old. I married a millennial for technological advice primarily, but I love talking on the phone. Jason is like, he's riffing on all my stuff. You must also be a Gen Xer. He's like, I get this. I get this. But yeah, so hit me up if you need anything. You know, have my cell phone number. If you get stuck, if you're like, this doesn't look right, doesn't seem right, do I have another option? I will make something happen for you. I promise. Susie Chandler, that's what I got. Did I forget anything? Usually people ask me questions to remind me what I forgot to talk about or should have told you. When it's time for ID badges, I will definitely start stalking you for those to come in and get your photos. They look like this. And they also open the door. And we have a whole list of, I had hair in this, much more hair in this picture. they also are, we have a whole list of places where you can get discounts with them. And that's why I keep the one that says student on it, even though I'm back to just staff now. It says student. Oh, I got my MBA in nonprofit management, where they taught me everything I needed to know about how to not make money, and I'm really good at it. Anything else, Jan? I see
Yeah,
you
I was just
nodding
gonna say,
fire.
so yeah, I've got all that stuff in Canvas now, and that lists all the discounts and everything you need. Most of the discounts, however, you're gonna need your ID for. So just know that whenever you want to get that made, you just let Susie know or Nicole know, and we'll take care of it, or let me know.
Erin is pointing out a small detail that I may have left out. One of the key components of things I do is our LR Partners program. We got any people who know that they are LR Partners in the house? Woo! Way to go, Ashley. Erin, I got tucked in. Erin, did you become a chamber member so you could score that discount? Yep, nice. I got her hooked up with Amy Jackson, also an LR MBA. All right. So what our LR Partners program does is it's a free tuition discount benefit for employers. So like Mission, like Mayhec, like across the street, Homeward Bound, those are all partners who their employees get a discount. If you are working at a place and you want to know, hey, are we an LR partner? You're welcome to send me an email and check. If you're working at a place and you well know you're not a partner, but you like to be, you can also send me an email and say, here's my HR person, and I'll just take it away and see if I can get that set up for you. As soon as we establish the LR partnership, you can start getting a 10% discount on your very next semester, and it goes up based on how many people are taking classes. So, and one of the nice things is if your business happens to be a member of the Chamber of Commerce, all chamber members, their employees are also already LR partners and get a 15% discount. Yay, Rebecca is doing the wave. Let's start the wave, guys.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, if anybody has questions and wants to know about the partners, just let me know, and I'll make sure we get that discount in there before Monday. So we also have Craig Varley, so very important. So
all right,
let's get
Hi.
Hi, Craig. So
Hi, my name is Craig. I'm the librarian, and I'm not there. I'm at home in my house, and I usually live next to a computer lab. And then through the little window there, sorry, my phone is ringing. I'm going to turn it off. There's a window right next to the computer lab, and that's where I live. And I'll wave at you if you wave at me. But right now, don't wave there because I'm not there. I'm at home. I just spoke to my boss, and he said that I'll probably be here all summer, but I will be there for whenever you guys come back in the fall. And that's when I can help you. So I'm the librarian. But we have an odd library for the one you're often used to because we don't have any books. We don't have any physical books. I saw you have about 6, 2 of them in the DSM. But what you're likely to do is to use entirely ebooks and online articles. We have literally millions of things available, but they're all available remotely. And it's my job to make sure that you can find what you need and you can access them when you need it. So first thing I'm going to give you, I'm going to send on the chat here is my email address, which is right there. And the second thing I'm going to give you is the address of our, which if you click on that will take you to the library webpage. Now, what I'm not going to do is walk you through it in great detail because it'd be really boring right now, and also you'd forget. So the best thing I found is that I'm going to give you the URL, and then whenever you need some help, contact me and I can walk you through it. I've Zoomed with people for the past 18 months, and I can either deal with big things or little things. I do 2 things mostly. One of them is I make sure that you can find the resources that you need, whether it's an article or an ebook, all of which are accessible through that URL I just gave you. I also do writing help. You're about to start, some of you, writing some extremely long articles, and I can absolutely help you do that. So if you have the first research article you've written in maybe 20 years or something like that, or maybe you just did it last year, I don't know. Come to me, send it to me. I'm pretty good with the turnaround time. I can usually get it back to you in a couple of hours. If you get to me on like a Saturday, it might be a bit of a longer wait, but I'm pretty responsive even at the weekends because I'm very sympathetic to people who occasionally let it just don't do anything until the last minute, which isn't great policy, but we all do it. So I can help you. All you have to do is email me, let me know what you're doing, what class you're in, and what you need. I can either just give a quick proofread, or if you want to talk through a larger project, I can also do that. So again, it's a different kind of library because we don't really have a physical collection here. We have a physical collection over in Hickory, which you're welcome to go to should you want to do that. but a lot of our newer books will be ebooks and streamed, so you can either download chapters or just view them online or download a PDF of whatever you need. So I'm not going to walk you through anything because you will forget everything I tell you. It's just that sort of day. So I can't stress this enough. If you have any questions, whether before, if it's been a while since you've been to school or you hadn't really dealt with this kind of library before, send me an email and we can set up a Zoom chat, or we can just contact, we can just go back and forth on email. Click on that and have a poke around the Asheville Library website, because that is the portal that you will use to access any of our millions and millions of articles and ebooks that you will use. You will absolutely encounter a problem. Most of our links are fine, but even so, at some point, even the professors send me lists of things saying, I can't access this, I'm not sure why. It's okay, everybody makes mistakes with that because you don't know how it works. So let me know, because I do know how it works. So again, Craig Varley, librarian, little room next to the computer lab. I'll see you in the fall probably, but I probably won't see you until then, except like this. Let me know if you need any help. Until then, have a good semester.
Thanks, Craig. That's great. Yeah, definitely take